Hi, Randy.
Hi, Jay. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So let's just dive right in. How did you get involved with the film?
Well, they sent me a script, and it was awesome. And I loved Obvious Child, and I loved all the people in the movie, and the actors are great. And there was no reason to say no. It was yes across the board.
Nice. Did you do any preparation for the role?
Yeah, we did a little bit. I mean, Ben is probably the character that's closest to me personally that I've ever played. So that was kind of nice and comfy. Like I don't know, I'm like a good Catholic school kid. I don't know how I got started playing a lot of like bad behavior playboy type dudes, but I definitely related to the character, very domesticated dude who's like so committed that it's getting boring at this point, But I did some preparation in terms of just kind of like looking at some 90s films and watching Friends again and looking at all the hair and did a little bit. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, I did see a little David Schwimmer in that performance.
Yeah, it could be a little Schwimmer in there.
What was it like working with this amazing cast?
Oh, man. I mean, there was a moment where I was in the car with Edie Falco, John Turturro, Jenny Slate, and Abby Quinn, and I was like, whoa, what am I doing here? Because I'm still pretty new to acting and really enjoying it. But, yeah, it's just every time I was on set, it was just so real and so natural. And having my scenes with Jenny was just kind of magical. I mean, I mostly work in an improvisational way and go with the gist of the script. And, the filmmakers really wanted us to do that. And Jenny is so inspired and funny and new in every moment that it was just kind of a dream.
Nice. Did you hang out when the cameras weren't rolling?
Yeah, we did. We were like trailer buddies. We were like having lunch together and hanging out and talking about life. And I mean, Jenny's very much like a student of the human condition. Like I would say, like my brother and I are. And we talked a lot. And I think it was cool too. It really helped build our dynamic since we were had been together for quite a while.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you've obviously been behind the camera, you're in front of the camera. Do you prefer acting to directing or vice versa?
They're so different. I mean, to be totally frank, I will say right now I do prefer acting. It's just really fun and free, and when you're writing and directing and producing, you're kind of holding the whole universe in your arms, and it's a lot of pressure and a lot of 14-hour days where your brain is never really off the hook. And acting is a little bit more of hey, you're gonna get 7 takes at this and just do your best. But I also have to acknowledge that like the directors and the creators that I've been working with, from Transparent to I just did this Beatrice at Dinner movie with Miguel Arteta, and then now this movie with Gillian Robespierre. I mean, I've been working with the kinds of writers and directors where you truly can and want to trust them. So I've skipped a lot of the hard parts of being an actor. I've skipped, all the auditioning and the failure and the rejection, and I've skipped, and I kind of slid in sideways to start working with wonderful people. So I don't take it for granted that it's this fun and easy, but it is very fun.
Okay. Now, what's it like working on a film like this? Do you look at it from an actor's point of view and a director's point of view at the same time? Like, what's that thought process like?
I just look at it from an actor's point of view when I'm doing my character, but there are times where, maybe a scene isn't working as well as it could, or a piece of dialogue isn't quite doing the job, and, maybe then I get into my director brain a little bit, which I think all actors have. But mine definitely. I mean, I try to just stay in that acting place, but I will offer story ideas with no strings attached, or dialogue ideas if it happens, and I've generally it generally is pretty well received.
Okay, cool. What was it like working with Gillian?
Gil's fun. I mean, she has a lot of trust in the people that she chooses, and she wants you to try things and to keep the other actors on their toes. And she just, I don't know, I loved her style. Like, she really, she has a lot of confidence in her and Liz's writing, and as she should. And so she knows where the story's going and what's happening. So she has a lot of flexibility as to exactly how it unfolds. And to me, that's just such a wonderful way to work.
Okay, nice. So what do you hope audiences take away from this film?
Whoa. I don't know. I hope that they think about their own relationships and laugh and giggle along the way and have a good time, and there's a lot of lessons to learn from the movie. I think there's a lot of depth there in terms of family dysfunction and how that relates to your own individual life. And I think, we're all in a process of evolving to be better people and better versions of ourselves. And I think this movie is a great study in that.
Now, would you label this film as a comedy, a drama, or a dramedy?
I think I would give it a dramedy. I think it's, like a lot of the stuff that I've worked on, it's dramatic in nature and truthful in nature, but it's also happens to be really funny as well.
Yeah, I'm also a huge fan of the dramedy. And I understand that you are a huge fan of Raising Arizona.
I am.
Can you tell me a little bit about that film and how it has influenced your work?
Yeah. Well, our family has always been movie lovers,
Nice.
and we've just always been moviegoers. But when I saw Raising Arizona for the first time, it was in a movie theater,
Nice.
and we were on a vacation with our family. And I remember thinking, it was the first time that I realized there is an author of this film, and I cannot see this author, and I cannot hear them, but I know something about them, and I know a lot about their personality just by watching this movie. And it's really the first movie where I became cognizant that human beings made movies, and they weren't just pumped out of some weird factory, and that it was, it was not only an artistic expression, but a personal expression. And that's when I guess my brain woke up to the reality that, maybe that's something I might want to do one day.
Okay. And I'm sure you're a huge fan of the other Coen brother films.
Yes, of course I am. I'm obsessed. In fact, I tried to be the Coen brothers for a long time, creatively, artistically, and failed miserably. And it turns out that my own directorial style is the total opposite of the Coen brothers, but I still remain a lifelong fan.
I think a collaboration between the three of you would be amazing, personally.
I'm down.
Yeah. So, do you hope to work with members of this cast and crew again in the future?
Oh, God, I would work with all these people in a second. Again. I'm just blown away by, their creativity and sense of humor. Man, Abby Quinn, she's so incredible. She's the only person that I didn't know about coming into this, and she was just pitch perfect.
Nice. So yeah, there's so many great things about the movie behind the scenes. What about challenges? What challenges did you guys face when on set?
Gosh, I don't know.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I can't even think of it. I mean, I'm sure behind the scenes there were a lot of challenges. Anytime you try and make like a an independent film. It's just challenging. But from my point of view, it was a joy, I was just working with a great script and great actors and a great director. So I don't know. It just, it felt very in flow to me. And, for me, the only challenge was I live in LA and I have young kids and I had to go to New York to do it. So I had to be away. It was the first movie where I was like away from my family for the first time.
Okay.
So that was kind of challenging, kind of flying back and forth and having them come to New York. So it was a little tricky, but it was totally worth it.
Okay, cool. So speaking about New York, do you prefer working in New York to LA or vice versa?
I just like LA because I live here and my family's here. But I've done a significant amount of work in New York, and it's the only thing to say about New York shooting is if you're going to shoot a New York story, you have to shoot it in New York.
Right.
There's only and if you're going to shoot anything other than the New York story, you pretty much have to be out of New York because it's so specific. So I enjoy it. I used to live there. I still enjoy it and miss it, but it is a very crowded and loud place that I don't need to spend a ton of time in anymore.
Okay. Are there any actors or filmmakers that you would love to work with in the future, aside from the Coen brothers?
Oh goodness, yes, there are tons and tons. Goodness gracious. Who are the people that I would love to work with? It's so many I just can't even slow it down. Moonlight was my favorite movie last year, and Barry is an old friend who I came up on the film festival circuit with. So he's somebody that I would just he's like one of those people where anything he would want, I would be there and do it in a second. And Daniel Destin Cretton is another great filmmaker that I am obsessed with. Oh, Kelly Reichardt, maybe one of the most poetic and phenomenal American filmmakers alive today. I would do anything she wanted in a second. There's so many.
Cool. Very good. So, Jay, kind of a dream of mine is to see a live-action Jetsons movie. I think you might be the perfect person for that.
Sure. Jetsons.
Just a random thought.
All right, that sounds good. I'll put it in the hopper.
I like it. Look forward to it.
All right.
Thanks. Well, thanks, Jay. This has been Under the Radar. I'm Randy Unger. Thanks for listening.
And I'm George J. Jetson.
Thanks, guys. Bye.